Hi everyone, it is the Shark Dress, and I am so excited for tonight. It is Money Monday. Happy Labor Day, everyone. Give me a moment because I actually have Christina right here with me. Ha! But we're gonna get her on this live right now. We are just about ready to head out. We'll be hitting some drag bars tonight to promote the Shark Dress at DragCon. So give me a moment.
I'm getting the good lighting. The good lighting. Find your light, they say. I found it. Can they hear me from here?
I don't know. Can everyone hear her? Maybe. Okay. Let's see. Hi, Angela. All right.
We gotta figure this. We should have figured this out before.
All right. Give us one more second. It's hard because we're trying to both join from my account, so Facebook is not really letting us right now. Let's see. Maybe we can do it without the mic and just on speaker, and it'll be like a real discussion and
A live discussion.
a live discussion. So let's try that. And Angela, why don't you tell me if that works?
Hello? Can you hear us?
Hello. So, meet Christina. Christina, introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are, what you do, how you got into this.
So my name is Ms. Mizzkushtina. It is Kushtina, as in like the Kush, what everyone enjoys. About a year ago, on July 23rd, I started my first night in drag, and girl, was I booger. And was it drag on a dime, and that's what we're going to be talking about today.
That's awesome. So, tell us about tonight. What are you doing tonight?
So tonight, we're just going to bounce around from bar to bar, see my friends, see, promote the event that we're doing at DragCon next weekend from Friday to Sunday. We'll be there every day selling money spells, giving out glitter, having all kinds of fun, honey.
Okay, so when you said that you did drag on a dime, why don't you tell us a little bit about your first time in drag and like what that meant and how much it cost?
Well, so my first time in drag, it was on a dime, honey. So what it was, it was a crop top that I bought from Urban Outfitters. It was a mini skirt that was handed out to me in seafoam green. You can find it on my Instagram, it's the first picture. And I'm wearing under it a plastic corset. And it hurt my ribs. I ended up with rug burns afterwards. I was wearing 8 pairs of just regular sheer pantyhose, and they came like 2 in a box for $4. And now, I definitely a year later have learned a lot of tricks and how to save money by investing in long-term quality products and creating my own look using things like spandex and commissioning. And then we could also talking about makeup and using glitters and how less can also mean more, and how using less products in the long run isn't generally something that can help you shorten the amount of time that you need to get ready. And Angela said, we can hear you and the planes.
Yeah.
Hi Angela, hello. Sorry. So my first corset, which can we just angle back for a second and I'm going to show them. here I'm wearing what is about an $80 steel bone corset. It consists of about 24 steel bones and a front what is it called? A busk. So when you busk it together, and then it's laced and tied. So originally what I had was about for $12 I bought, and it was plastic and it was embroidered, and it broke in less than a year. This should last me about maybe 4 to 5 years with continuous use and seasoning. I should be able to get maybe 10, 20 years out of use of it. So like this costume, this is a commission costume that I recently got done. It cost me, just for the commission itself, $100, $60 for the fabric. So when we look at it, this costume will definitely be a return on investment because it's pretty, it shines on stage, it looks like Technicolor and sequiny and like glittery, so it's very attractive. Things like this wig, honey. So, as you can see, you won't find this kind of wig anywhere in the store unless someone made it. So, I made this wig myself by buying off the head instead of buying it out of the box. So when you go to your beauty supply or your wig supply store, you have to try on the wig. But that wig that gets tried on, no one buys it usually because they deem it as gross. I don't. It's cheaper. Usually you get 20 bucks off. And all you gotta do is when you get home with the synthetic, you just drop it in some detergent and fabric softener and leave it overnight. And the next morning, it's clean and new. And you can brush it out, style it, and redo it.
Yeah, and if you see this wig, it's actually amazing. She dyed it, and the bottom of it is green. So it's not just a blonde wig, it's also green. And that was another thing that when I first started talking to Christina, she really, told me all of these little tips and tricks that you can do to make it affordable to do drag. And also just the other thing that we've spoken about a couple of times is the thought about saving for things and buying things that you can reuse and that have intrinsic value, that have quality, and that you're not spending money on things that that are going to break in a day or 2 days, and you're only going to get one performance or two performances out of them. And I think that really carries true for everything. I always tell people to kind of just focus on quality, right, over quantity. It's so much better to have like a few high quality pieces in your closet, like go-to pieces, than to buy a ton of low quality items that you're just either not going to wear, or they're going to be like threadbare after the first time that you wear them. It's just not, it's not a good use of your resources. So I think what Drag on a Dime is really just making the best use out of your resources that you possibly can. And even with the makeup, like using a little bit less makeup to let it last longer and still getting that same look, that same face from it. And maybe that also involves using a little bit of a higher quality makeup than you would buy normally. And for some things you need that, and then to other types you don't. Do you have any tips on makeup?
Oh,
yeah.
Let's get started. Look at this beat. You see this? The only thing that you can see is like right there. There's that little pimple that came out. But all in general, I look smooth, I look glittered, I look contoured, I look juicy and ready to start my night. So it's always starting with the right base. So a good foundation is always key, and having the right kind of foundation for stage is the optimal choice that you need. So when you're wearing things like a liquid foundation, which I can get away with because my skin's a little bit drier, so I don't have to build as much, it just adheres kind of like stick like glue to my skin. You can just use things like cream or stick foundations, which are much more waterproof. The more resilient a foundation is, it usually is more greasy and it can withstand sweat. But things like you can always use things like Wet n Wild and still get the same effect. So I use a lot of different products from a lot of different companies. On my eyes, I'm wearing things like NYX and Kryolan, which is a theater makeup brand. I'm wearing like Spirit Gum to hold down my brows and like 2 pairs of lashes. So who knows what's gonna happen tonight. But it's always building your foundation in the right layers. So based on what I have on, I'm wearing a lot more than most women wear. A CC cream can usually do the same effect during the day and still have that, like, you know, mattifying or neutralizing properties that you're looking for, and at the same time it's usually much cheaper than buying like a Marc Jacobs foundation or a Fenty Beauty foundation, which can go upwards of $30 to $40. Using companies like NYX, who have built their products off of durability and withstanding day-to-day wear, they definitely hold up, and they're on the cheaper side. And I always recommend people like NYX glitters or NYX lipsticks. I'm wearing a NYX lipstick and lip liner today. My usual pretty. I just love looking at the camera so long. Get away from me before I just like fall in.
Okay. So anyway, so we've got a lot tonight. It was some beauty tips, some ideas on how to do drag on a dime, and then as always, if you have any questions or any comments, or you want to know a little bit more about Christina, so feel free to comment here if you're watching now or you're watching on the replay, and come visit us. We will be at DragCon booth 659, and I will be selling my money spell kits, which are officially completed today. And yeah, I just did the finishing touches on them today, earlier, and they're all ready to go. I'm super excited about that. So come Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we will be at the Jacob Javits Center, and I hope to see you all there. Have an amazing night. Bye.
Au revoir. S'il vous plaît.